How we doing, everyone? My name is Delta and welcome back to another Division 2 video. Hope everyone is doing well and keeping cool on this hot Saturday. There's been a little bit of a discussion recently on Twitter about the status of the expertise and the SHD watch bonus system and how it relates to PvP and PvE. I'm making this video kind of off the cuff to talk a little bit about my thoughts on the issue, and I want to go ahead and try and provide a little context to those who may be uninformed about the issue. So if you're new to the channel and you're just discovering me, I make Division content, so please go ahead and give me a like and subscribe if you want to stick around. I appreciate it. So basically, this discussion about the merits of the expertise and the SHD bonus system started over on Twitter. A lot of the content creators and outspoken community members have expressed their frustrations with the fact that the team is considering this, and I just wanted to offer a different kind of perspective on the issue. So according to this tweet, Yannick mentioned that they are looking at disabling the expertise system as well as the SHD bonus system in PvP. While I understand that hardcore players who have put in the hours to getting the max expertise system may feel like their time spent grinding is not respected by the developers when they say that they want to consider removing expertise from PvP, there is 100% a double-edged sword to keeping the expertise system in PvP. So what kind of benefits does the expertise system give to a hardcore player who grinds all the way up to level 20 so they can max out their gear and weapons? You can get up to 20% additional weapon damage on top of your existing base damage for your weapons, and you can get up to 20% extra armor per piece at the maximum expertise level. Those differences are kind of staggering, and throw that on top of the existing boost that you get from having a maxed out level 1000 SHD watch, you can kind of understand why Yannick and the rest of the team are considering disabling these boosts in PvP. I 100% agree with the fact that expertise and the SHD bonuses should be active in all PvE areas. Expertise is a system that's designed to get you to go around and go to all the different places in the game and interact with all of the different pieces of content available within the Division 2. The argument could be made that obviously you can grind PvE with the intent of making yourself and your character more powerful in PvP, but if we have learned nothing from the Division 2's team is that they are looking to create the most balanced version of a PvP sandbox that they possibly can. The reason I think that the SHD watch is fine to keep in PvP is because it provides inherent qualities that you can have regardless of your build. Grinding all the way out to SHD level 1000 gives you some pretty decent buffs when it comes to your character's overall stats. Total armor, crit chance, crit damage, etc. All of these buffs are inherently active on your character regardless of what build you're running. This stands in pretty stark contrast to the expertise system. The grind is ironically slightly more RNG based. If you want to become proficient in every single weapon, every single gear piece, and every single skill, you either have to use all of those weapons, gear pieces, and skills all the way till you reach proficiency rank 10, or you have to get all of them via RNG and loot drops and donate them to the expertise table. It introduces an element of randomness to the expertise grind, and I could 100% see why Massive does not want this to impact PvP. If the Division 2 wants to continue to thrive and grow in terms of its player base, it can't lock PvP enjoyment behind RNG, more so than it already is. As many other content creators have put it, PvP is a lot of people's endgame. PvP is pretty much infinitely replayable, as the situations you will face will be completely different depending on what time you step in the dark zone or conflict or whatever. You run into an optimization problem when you cater just specifically to PvE players. The developers are aimed at maximizing the number of players that can interact with their game while trying to keep the file sizes from becoming infinitely large. So with that in mind, it would behoove Massive to create a more stable and more balanced PvP environment where more people can interact and have fun without needing the constant new areas and new missions all of the time. If you want a good example of where a game needs to always be introducing new content, new gear, new places to go, new weapons to grind for, etc., look no further than Destiny 2. Destiny 2's file size is something like 100 gigabytes. They can't even have all of the destinations that were available at launch in the game because it's so big. Literally, paid content from Curse of Osiris is just completely unavailable within that game anymore. You can't play it. Doesn't matter if you spent money on it, it's just not there. You just can't interact with it. There's no legacy server, there's no nothing. Destiny PvE players were bored and frustrated because there's nothing to go experience in the game, so they just go ahead and take breaks and they only come back when there's new stuff introduced. PvP players were frustrated because all of the new stuff and all the new things that are coming out to appease the PvE players, and nothing has come out to appease the PvP players. Destiny 2 had a stretch of time when there was 3 years without a new PvP map. PvP players were getting bored and frustrated and quitting the game because they felt like their time wasn't being respected. There wasn't enough new stuff for them to go experience other than the rat race of RNG. So let me offer a little bit of an interpretation of what I think is happening right now. The Division 2 is in a little bit of a transitory period. The last 3 or so years have been completely PvE focused. We've gotten new campaign missions, new story missions, new seasons, new weapons, new exotics, new game modes, etc. And now, just now, finally, are we hearing some inklings and rumblings about changes coming to PvP. I think it would do well for us to remember that, number one, the Division 2 is a PvP game as well as a PvE game. With that said, certain concessions need to be made to both sides in order to create the best game possible and the most balanced game possible. Number two, the Division 2 needs more new players. That's a pretty unalienable fact. Everyone knows that, for a game to continue and to keep feeling fresh, it has to change the sandbox around at least once in a while. It also kind of has to protect new players so that they don't get instantly discouraged from playing PvP. PvP is one of the endgame content offerings within the Division 2. Feel free to disagree with me, but I do think that the expertise system needs to be reconsidered in PvP areas. Maybe it's active in the invaded dark zone only, and it remains disabled within conflict and the 2 uninvaded dark zones. I think that's a pretty happy medium, and that's actually the compromise that the development team came up with when normalization was the PvP issue within the community at that time. I do think that there needs to be a PvP area where expertise, or if you want to look at it from the Destiny perspective, quote unquote level advantages matter, so to speak. I think the invaded dark zone is the place to put it. It kind of obviously makes it seem like the quote unquote lawless area, etc. Regardless of the discourse that's going on in the community, I really do think that massive talking about PvP changes and considering new ways to freshen PvP and make it more accessible to more people is a good thing. I don't think this is a bad thing at all. Regardless of the differences between the Division 1 and the Division 2's PvP, the Division 2 is still a pretty fun PvP game, all things considered, and I do think a lot of people should want to experience that. If they feel discouraged in wanting to play PvP, it does not bode well for the rest of the game, because a lot of players play PvE to compete in PvP. At any rate, guys, do let me know what you think down in the comment section below. If you liked and enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and subscribing for more Division content. I've been making videos almost weekly this week, and I hope it can continue. Anyways, guys, that'll be it from me. Now get out of here, okay? Leave a comment down below what you thought, or if you have any sort of ideas about the whole debate, I want to hear from you guys. All right, now get out of here. Delta out. Peace.